I think I am officially done with limited run games. They have officially been called out on Twitter and they are in deep doo doo. Voltar made a tweet that is a complete banger calling out a scam that they're allegedly up to right now. And that's the fact that they're using CDRs like this. Yeah, the kind that you can just go to Office Depot and buy and burn your Edema and Lincoln Park on. They're using these to make 3DO console games like Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. Here's the killer though, they don't work on the 3DO. Instead of making an actual high quality pressed disc with a master glass copy, they're putting games on this, essentially burning video games in Office and selling them to you for a premium price. Utterly ridiculous considering how high in regard limited run games is considered in the gaming industry at this point. They're like one of the first powerhouses that pledges to put games forever physical in this day and age when we're starting to see digital take over the market. Limited run games has kind of been seen as a glimmer of hope. Last year, I gave them a little bit of crap over the Purple Tinker incident where they fired their community manager, Kara Lynn, over some decades old tweets that she posted because some weird trans activist named Purple Tinker was throwing a shit fit and actually blew up quite a bit to the point where Douglas Bogart blocked me on social media and Limited Run cut all ties with me. They didn't even want to look at me in the eyes at SoCal Gaming Expo. And I was also warned that a convention might have to not bring me out as a guest because they were butthurt about my video. Well, guess what? They're back in the limelight after Voltar put this banger tweet out calling them out. And we're going to take a look at it right now. So cut to it. Now, looking at Voltar's tweet, you can see he starts off with, I know I talk a lot of things on here and people might consider this drama, but please just hear me out and read until the end. This company is problematic in more ways than one, and it's becoming exhausting. This is definitely a problematic situation if you're claiming to sell games that are actually legit high quality at a premium price. You need to be honest with your customers, and the fault of limited run games is that they lied about using CDRs. Not a good look. Voltar's tweet continues, at Limited Run Games charges an absolute premium for their limited releases, yet they're burning CDRs for some of the disc-based titles. Yes, you read that correctly. Limited Run Games is burning CDs and selling them as a limited games release. And this is where the outrage is at, considering all the bells and whistles that they have on most of their collector's editions, their reputation, their high regard standing that they have in the gaming industry, and now they're pulling something like this. Whew, you hate to see it. Continuing on, they say LRG is charging $60 plus for these 3DO games, and they're literally burning them to cheap CDR media. How can you, in good conscience, take people's money while not even properly having these discs pressed? What's limited about a CDR backup? This is the very definition of low-effort grifting. And that's the thing, is these games, they're starting to bring all these old games back. You've even seen Battletoads Double Dragon, Felix the Cat. Plumbers Don't Wear Ties is not a very easy game to come by, especially a 3DO version or even the game D. So the 3DO is kind of a niche console collection to collect for. A lot of them are hard to find. I didn't know anybody personally having it, but you're obviously trying to take advantage of a retro collector market that this is catering to, and you're lying to them. Now, one thing about limited run games is that a lot of people don't open these physical games. They leave them sealed and on a shelf. So if you didn't attempt to put this game in, you wouldn't even know if it wasn't working or not. There's been people allegedly putting these in their 3DOs and finding out that these games are not working, and they're finding out the hard way that it's CDR. And I don't know all the technical bells and whistles. I've heard that some 3DOs can play CDRs, but that's not right. If you're doing a high quality premium price for your product, you should have an actually pressed disc that works. This is unacceptable. Continuing on, he says limited run games is literally ripping people off with their grifts. Please share and retweet this so people can better be informed, because whether you like it or not, if nobody says anything about this, then everyone suffers. I recognize that many larger YouTube channels have vested interest in shoring these people up, but I'm not going to turn a blind eye to this, as the community, you people, deserve to be treated better and more fairly. Absolutely outrageous. A $60 plus CDR backup. And he's posting these graphics where they're charging the $60 price, and you can see they're completely sold out. Think of all these people that are going to be playing these games that don't work. And one thing that he did mention that I'm sure will ruffle a few feathers, because a lot of the influencers in the retro gaming sphere have very thin skin. And I'm not naming any names. We've seen influencers in the past be buddy buddy with limited run games and do some stuff that has been allegedly kind of shady here or there. I'm not one of them. They hate me. Douglas Bogart blocked me, even though he's no longer with the company. Can I help you with something? He blocked me a long time ago. Limited Run Games unfollowed me. They probably will block me after this video. And this is not being honest with your consumers. If you're a gaming company, you're providing a service, you need to do what people are paying for, especially if you're advertising something. I think this could maybe lead down a very legal road that they don't want to go down. And since this news broke, a lot of people have been coming out to begin to share their concerns with not just 3DO products, but other releases such as their PC offerings. It's kind of a bad look to see a company that owns an own store, is owned by the Embracer Group, using CDRs. Again, I would burn music off of Kazaa. I would even burn These are Dreamcast games. These are low quality. This is like broke boy stuff. A full-fledged company that is as popular as limited run games should not be doing this type of stuff. Now, who knows why they're doing this? Is it cutting cost measures? Is it something that they thought they wouldn't get busted on because they think people would never open their sealed games for whatever reason? Who cares about all that speculation? The problem is that burned CDRs are not as high quality. They tend to actually not last as long as an actual high quality pressed disc. So in a way, you're selling defective product to people. And I think that's going to open an ugly can of worms, especially because Limited Run Games is not disclosing this on their website. It would be different if when they're promoting the, I guess, pre-orders for these games that they said, hey, special note, these are our CDRs. These are not on a high quality pressed disc. These are CDRs. They're burned in house or whatever. This is not a good look. I already wasn't really fucking with limited run games anymore, but after this, I'm definitely going to be cautious on if I even think about spending a dime on limited run games. And this was more of a PSA. I hope you guys take into consideration that they're not being honest about this. And this is probably going to be a huge backlash in regards to their business. So I can't fuck with limited run games. I'm officially done with them at this point. Selling CDRs and calling it limited premium games at a $60 price point. Nah, you could fuck off with that.